So I'm sure you've heard the rumors. The Nintendo Switch Pro is real, according to multiple sources, but unconfirmed by Nintendo. The Nintendo Switch Pro is real. Or is it? Like, we gotta wait until next Tuesday to find out, potentially. I don't know why Nintendo just doesn't come out and tell us. Like, why are we overthinking this? Businesses tend to do this. They tend to overthink what the fans want. Sometimes the fans are just telling them what they want. Sometimes it's hard to figure out what the fans want. But sometimes it's pretty dang easy. And in this case, it's pretty dang easy. The fans want to know, is the Nintendo Switch Pro real or not? Nintendo's not saying anything. They haven't debunked it. They haven't confirmed it. Now, in the past, they have debunked it. Many months ago, Nintendo denied that the Nintendo Switch Pro was a thing. Now, they're not saying anything, which I think you and I would agree that tends to make us believe that it is a real thing. They just don't want to say anything. But if it's a real thing and the rumors are already out, then why are you waiting to tell us? Why would you do that? So that way we go through this agonizing circle of like, is it real? Is it not? Is it real? Is it not? It's like, pulling the flowers. Nintendo Switch Pro is real. Nintendo Switch Pro is not. Nintendo Switch Pro is real. Like, just tell us. What do you have to lose at this point? Is there some like financial gain? Like, do your stocks go up if you wait until Tuesday to do it? Is your financial quarter ending June 14th or 15th? Like, what is happening? Just tell us, Nintendo. There's no harm in telling us now. Now, the only reason that I think Nintendo would wait is so that way they can dominate the end of E3 discussion. That's the only thing, because June 15th is pretty much the end. Otherwise, I don't think there's any reason to hold out. But even if they told us now, they still have all the stuff for the Nintendo Direct that would coincide with the Nintendo Switch Pro. So what's the problem? Imagine if they told us today. Just imagine. Today is Sunday, right? Imagine if they told us today. It would dominate the conversation. It would dominate, absolutely dominate for the rest of E3. Because then we'd be speculating, well, what's going to be in the Nintendo Direct? Oh my gosh, Breath of the Wild 2 has to launch with it. Like, the anticipation would be even greater than waiting for the announcement of the Nintendo Switch Pro. I think so. Maybe you disagree with that, but I feel like that would be the case. Are we going to get a new F-Zero? Are we going to get a new Star Fox? What's going to happen now that we know that this thing is real? And Nintendo's just sitting there like, oh, you guys think you know, but you really don't, but you kind of do. We're just going to play mind games with you. It's like Smash Brothers all over again, all the mind games. I don't want to deal with it anymore. Just tell us. Nintendo. That's all we want. Just put it out there. Maybe they're going to surprise drop it. I don't know. There's too many babies. I don't want to wait until June 15th. I just want to know now. Okay? I think you and I could agree that we just want to know now. But if anything, it better be real. Because if it just turns out that it's just like, yeah, the Nintendo Switch is going to get like 7 new colors. Okay, like, yeah. If it's not Nintendo Switch Pro, if that's not the big announcement, then Nintendo's fired. Like, forget it. Everybody's fired. All the people who with the rumors are fired. Nintendo's fired. Everybody's fired. Like, it has to be the Nintendo Switch Pro, whatever it's going to be called. Or, like, I feel like the entire E3 is just not going to be it. With that said, what do you think it's going to be called? I would like it to be called the Nintendo Switch Advance. Because that's a callback to the Game Boy line of handhelds. The Switch is a handheld, essentially. It's a console first, but it's also a handheld. And Game Boy is what got Nintendo's handheld stuff going in the first place. Like, we do not have the DS if the Game Boy ends up failing. But the Game Boy was a hit. And the Game Boy Advance was, in my opinion, the best Game Boy. Number one, it played all the Game Boy games. Like, from the first one to the Game Boy Advance games, played Every single one. There really weren't that many like Game Boy Color games. Now that I think about it, there were some. I'm thinking about it. Were there that many Game Boy Color games? Maybe not. But some of you aren't even old enough to know what a Game Boy was. Google Game Boy. Okay. Also, Google how many of those things sold. Now, I think the Nintendo DS, like the entire line, sold more than the Game Boy. But again, without the Game Boy, without the success of the Game Boy, DS doesn't exist. Nintendo DS or the 3DS, I don't think survives. I don't think it makes it. Maybe they come up with it and it still does well. I don't know, but I just don't think it's a thing. But the Game Boy Advance, I feel like, was the best Game Boy, the best handheld, and so I feel like just make it a callback. It's still a new Switch. You know the difference. Switch Advance. Oh, what's that? It's a better version of the Switch. Boom. Just like the Game Boy Advance was a better version of the Game Boy. So I think that would be pretty cool. It's probably not going to be called that, as long as it's not called New Nintendo Switch. If it's not called that, this is already a win. But if it's called that, Nintendo is fired once again. So let me know what you think in the comments. What you think this new Nintendo Switch or Switch Pro or Switch Advance or Super Nintendo Switch, whatever you want to call it. Let me know what you think it's going to be called. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this video, check out the full episode of First Person Perspective on Gaming Trend Videos. Each episode airs every Sunday, and you won't have to wait until these episode clips upload. Also, our team uploads raw, non-commentary gameplay of the biggest and smallest games on your radar every day. Go subscribe to Gaming Trend Videos.